This is an invitation to dinner on normal and hard. I wanted to bring out Michael the Pious to show you how Dimension Door works. I'll show you that in just a minute. When we talk to this person, they're going to give us show us 3 cards, and it shows us 2 required objectives and 1 optional. And it also tells us location here. So the dictator says that we're going to find
Madame Eva's words echo in your mind.
Basically the
An
icon
artifact, a trap,
on the 2nd floor audience
a
hall.
friend.
And we're going to
But
find
will you
the
know
ally
which is which when you
in the
find
royal
it?
bedroom on the 3rd floor. This death card, that's an optional to get an extra chest. I've always skipped that. Alright, so let's talk to Rahad. Tell him we'll go at once. And I'm just going to show you how to use Michael the Pious to
Swells of
avoid a fight.
organ music, fraught with defiance, determination, and despair, greet your ears and fill the corridor ahead. As you step into the dining hall,
And of course, if you have
the music
decided to
abruptly
take
halts.
the Dragon Mark of
stern,
Passage
regal
yourself,
man
you'll be able
turns
to
to face
cast
you.
Dimension Door
Please,
as well as
come
teleport.
in, my honored guests. I am, of course,
Alright,
Count
so we'll talk to him.
Straton Zarovich, your host.
And now we just say, bring it on.
Strahd's laughter echoes across
And
the hall,
we just basically
and
avoid
his
that fight.
form dissolves
I'm going to
into
dismiss
mist.
him, and there's
The
other
door
places in this
slams
quest
shut.
where Dimension Door comes in handy, but I'm
It's
going to
a
dismiss
trap.
him and bring out the hireling. I just wanted to show you that the type of things that you could do with Dimension Door and why it's helpful as a spell. And that's one, is you could, for places like that, you could actually avoid fights. It wasn't a mandatory fight, it's an optional fight, and just Dimension Door right out of it. Alright, we should have 8 of these, so we've gotten 5 of them so far. So 3 more. And there's the other 2.
Dusty scrolls and tomes line the walls, and a great desk dominates the room. Sitting there is an elderly man scratching away with quill at paper. He ignores you, completely absorbed in his work.
Alright, so this guy, he has a chest, and it's just a talking to mission using your intelligence. So our intelligence should be good enough for this, and we'd always just put on this cloak to be on the safe side. And basically you want to say about this chest here, and then is there a key? And then intelligence check,
With a little arm twisting,
and he'll give us a key.
Lipsiege relinquishes the key to his chest. With a shrug,
I'm not sure what
he
the requirement
begins
is
to
here.
dutifully
I don't think it's
deduct
super
the
high.
contents from Strahd's accounts.
And with all of these, right, you get a
There
fight.
is the icon of Ravenloft. As you draw near,
And circles are generally bad in this game, so if you're in a circle, get out of it. I think that's true of a lot of MMOs. And that's the icon.
A sense of peace washes over you as you hold the icon of Ravenloft in your hands and stow it securely in your pack. With a heart-wrenching scream, the girl's spirit explodes into a shower of blood, exposing a twisted being underneath. Whoever this was, her spirit has been finally laid to rest. May her tortured soul finally know peace.
Alright, I just have to go a little north here to get to the bed chamber for the ally. There's another way I could have gone instead of this way. And let's see if we can find... Oh, there is the ally. Right by the shrine.
You have found an ally within Ravenloft. If Esmeralda had not told you of the ward barriers around the castle, and the keystone needed to escape them, finding the icon of Ravenloft would be all for naught.
So this tells us the location of the third thing we have to do, which is to get the keystone. And we have the icon, now we need to get the keystone, so we have to go back to the second floor to a different area. And a Reaper will probably just clear these stairways before we go in rooms. Alright, we've already been this way. So we're going to go this way now. And you make like a U-turn sort of here to get to the chapel. There's usually quite a bit of undead up ahead. I'm going to get my magic missile protection on because we've got an arcane skeleton coming up. Or we've a skeleton coming up. Probably might be some arcanes. These are just whites up here. Him first. So if we go past it looks like the king and queen's chair. And so right where you see that circle there is the altar, and then it's there. So we just basically, we're going to have to
Putrid evil radiates from this
defeat
skeletal corpse
the
as
skeleton,
it rises to challenge him.
which is of course no
Its
problem normal.
eyes gleam with malice, and dark
then we can
prayers to evil gods
take
whisper
the
from
stone.
its form. With a shriek of rage, the lingering spirit of this evil priest is banished from this realm. You find the ward keystone under a loose stone slab, just as Esmeralda promised. Merely touching the stone should allow you to pass through the wards at the top of the North Tower. But first, you will need to find a portal to take you there.
And so the next objective is escape through the brazier teleporters in the cellar, and of course that's probably the most confusing location. So we basically go to the basement for that. Not there, we have to go one level down. Oop, and we got some skeletons to fight, it looks like. Well, we can just probably skip them. And we're gonna have this fight here, which is a little tough. This guy does con damage with a curse. Alright, and then you have to search for a secret door.
An intricately carved brazier lights this space, with a flame that seems to give off no heat. Metal statues regard the flame from either side of the room.
When you approach that, it just kicks it off. This guy do a lot of poison damage, so we may have to take our poison immunity, poison potions quickly. Of course, they're nothing on normal, but...
In a flash of fire, you are teleported. There is a spiral staircase across the room, suggesting you are in one of the castle towers. A great rumbling shakes the floor, coming from below. With the keystone in hand, you step through the castle wards unhindered.
Well, wasn't able to open
You
that
check
one,
your
but it's
bags.
not very difficult.
Sure enough, the icon of Ravenloft is still there. You have done it.
So this
With
is
a
it.
sigh of
We
relief,
can either go up
you wonder
here
if
or
you will
recall
cross
out. I'm
paths
just gonna
with
recall out.
Esmeralda again.
And I'm going to pause it while I get the quest again and go in on hard, rather. And again, I'll use Michael just for the D-door to kind of show you again, once again, how that works. All right, this is the Anarchist. All right, so this says that we have to go to the Hall of Bones in the basement for the icon. We have to go to the chapel, second floor for the ally card.
A trap.
And then this is the optional, which I always skip.
But will you know which is which when you find it?
I believe this just means he's in a kind of a random location, but the wiki might have some more information. Probably has more information about that, like the most likely places where it is. But I always skip the optional.
Swells of organ music, fraught with defiance, determination, and despair, greet your ears and fill the corridor ahead. As you step into the dining hall, the music abruptly halts. A stern, regal man turns to face you. Please, come in, my honored guests. I am, of course, Count Strahd von Zarovich, your host. Strahd's laughter echoes across the hall, and his form dissolves into mist. The door slams shut. Trap.
And I suppose I should probably go get a cleric hireling here. It'd be kind of interesting to see if I could self-heal myself. I think I can, but... But if you're in a quest where you might want a D-door, it's good to bring him along for that part because he's just very, very convenient. Doesn't cost much for that. And even at high levels, people use him if they need a dimension door. Like for example, Red Fence. I'll probably want a healer. Let's see, we should have 8. Nope, one more. So let's find the last one. We don't really have to get these 8. I just like to get them because, out of habit, if someone's joining the party late, they might have to fight them, or if you D-door back, you'll have to fight them. So I just typically clear this room. Alright, so let's go Hall of Bones. I'll make sure I'm in on hard. That seemed almost too easy. Yep. And I assume this has to be the Hall of Bones over here. Yep, there it is, protected.
There is the icon of rainbow. Glitters in the light. As you draw near, it passes over you. This treasure is not unguarded.
And that when this becomes unwarded, you know the fight is over.
A sense of peace washes over you as you hold the icon of Ravenloft in your hands and stow it securely in your pack.
And if you're having trouble trouble with some of these, look up DDO Wiki. It has some more information on the locations. Generally, it's pretty helpful. There's a few of them. I think the Brazier, the one we went to last time, it's not so clear. But if you go to DDO Wiki, that'll help you clarify it. All right, so now we're going to go up to the second floor to the chapel. And generally, the allies usually buy a shrine.
Dusty scrolls and tomes line the walls, and a great desk
so we'll
dominates the room. Sitting there is an elderly man scratching away with quill and paper.
I have some questions about
He
this chest
ignores
here.
you,
Is there a
completely
key?
absorbed
And
in
then
his
intelligence
work.
check.
With a little arm twisting, Lipsiege relinquishes the key to his chest. With a shrug, he begins to dutifully deduct the contents from Strahd's accounts.
And here's the ally. So we'll talk to the ally. The ally will tell us where to go for the final piece.
You have found an ally within Ravenloft.
In the study
If
fireplace
Esmeralda
on the
had
third
not
floor.
told you of the ward barriers around the castle, and the keystone needed to escape them, finding the icon of Ravenloft would be all for naught.
And this is where if we had the dimension door, we could save a little bit of time by dimensioning door back to the first floor instead of running all the way back here. But it's pretty minor. And so the third floor of the study is here to the right, and there's the fireplace. And you can see there it is.
You find the ward keystone under a loose stone slab, just as Esmeralda promised. Merely touching the stone should allow you to pass through the wards at the main entrance.
Alright, so this one's going to be cool. I think the main entrance is going to be some dragons. So I don't know that we've actually fought any dragons yet. So this will be the first dragon fight, so that's kind of cool. And not just a dragon fight, a couple dragons. Alright, so let's drop down to the first floor. And I'm going to get my buffs going. I'm going to give acid to Miranda. And then Miranda give me a few spell points back in case she's not able to survive this fight. I have to self-heal, which I think is a possibility. Now there's four dragons here. I'm going to see if I can just get 2 of them at a time. Mainly practice for Reaper to try to get the 2.
Just as the way out comes into sight, you sense Strahd isn't done yet.
Alright, champion. So let's focus on the champion first. It's a stone guard. That's a tough one. Pretty heavy damage, you can say. Knockdown. These are tough enemies, but kind of fun to be fighting a dragon. And because they're orange name, they're almost always going to be champions. On both, alright, here we go. Here's 2 more. Let's go for the champion first. Alright, here's our chest.
With the keystone in hand, you step through the castle wards unhindered.
And we got a named item,
bags.
so let's take a look at
Sure
this.
enough, the icon of Ravenloft is still there.
Reinforced fists.
Done it.
So that's more for a
With
monk.
a sigh of relief,
We don't have monk
you
yet.
wonder if you will cross
Deadly 5,
paths
that
with
matches what we have in our
Esmeralda
goggles.
again.
Stunning 6, if we take the stunning blow feat, that would be very helpful there. And another Soul of Elements, that's another monk item. So probably not something we're going to use. But you know, now that we have this bound to account character or storage option, we'll probably save it in case we ever, in case we play monk, which eventually we'll want to play monk. All right, so that was kind of a fun dragon fight. That's going to be pretty tough on Reaper, I predict. Alright, so we'll see what we got for our end reward, and then our arc end reward. Soul Stealing Buckler, that'd be pretty neat for a swashbuckler. Returning Throwing Dagger, that has value on the, that's actually not a bad item. We could potentially use that instead of a bow, and not have to worry about arrows. But there's probably a Throwing Dagger person that would want that as a blank for crafting. That probably has value there. So I'm going to take this just because I believe this has some value for crafting, and I'm going to retake the quest again. And again, our guild is level 200, so it doesn't really do any good to take guild renown unless somebody leaves our guild and they need it. So I'm just choosing other options. Normally I would take the guild renown if I didn't have something I needed. Alright, nothing too exciting here. I'm just going to take the ring and then repeat this. And that is Invitation to Dinner on normal and hard.